There are some secret truths on Wall Street that any professional in the business knows is the case. You catch him in an honest moment, after a few schnocktails at the bar maybe, and you'll get it. The truth is this. On the buy side, that buy side trader is more concerned about making a mistake and costing themselves their job than they are in using your snazzy new algo widget that does this, that, the other thing. That's great. They want their trade performance from their tools. They want everything to be what it should be. They demand excellence from their providers. But the bottom line really is they just don't want to hit that big red button and have an explosion that costs them their career. That's the truth on the buy side. Now the sell side, slightly more nefarious and probably more obvious. The sell side is more interested in your dollar than in your friendship. The sell side will do anything they can to get in front of you and sell you something, hence the term. And so the sell side will play all the angles. They'll have the boring approach about how the algo volume curves are adjusted on Fed days and that the auction participation volumes are going to be amended and the blah, 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 blah. You don't really care, it's boring. There's the interesting. Like Rule 606 right now coming on in May in the US is going to do to the buy-side trader here what it did to the buy-side trader in Europe. It is going to make them responsible for the route explanations to the regulators, meaning not just where did it go, but why. Why did it go at each one of those stops? And how many stops were there? And why were those decisions made to go to those stops? And Rule 606 is going to cause an avalanche of algo wheels in your face from every provider. So that's interesting. And then finally, there's the cryptic. The cryptic is, we all know, it's kind of confusing. Like the fact that the report cards and the analytics database that you're using for the broker comparison may use the real raw data, or it might actually use the cost estimate data, and that the data cleaning mechanism and the methodology in use really does matter. You need to ask the question or you won't understand why they're doing what they do. You get me, right? So here's what's not the truth. What's not the truth is fluff. Fluff doesn't work. Fluff is, I come in there with my alligator smile, my slick back hair, and I tell you all the things that I'm going to do for you, right? You all know that. Authenticity is real. People can smell intent a mile away. And so, what really sells is relationship, but not the Wall Street relationship. Friendship. The kind of thing where when this business is done, you and I are still friends. When I'm downstairs or I'm hanging outside and I realize that you're right upstairs, I might give you a buzz. When I'm out of the business for 17 years and I'm down in Florida sipping cocktails in Clearwater Beach, I might have you next to me as we talk about the business and laugh. I do business with a ton of guys that used to be in the Wall Street business but are now in other businesses. I help out a ton of guys in the current business in places that they cannot help me at all. Either I'm in a different part of my career than they are, or they're not in a position of influence. It doesn't matter. My point is this: relationship. Relationship has to be combined with trust and product. Real product, like excellence of product and excellence of relationship, which I will define as friendship. You've got the magic combination. That's what drives business. That's what you look for when you're going to make a purchase. When you want to find out what the electronics component of XYZ is at any good and your buddy's got one and he's a close friend of yours, you get the idea. So the point is this: truth is a funny thing. Everyone knows it, no one says it. If you can get to the truth and you know how the truth drives the real people doing the real things, you can operate within the confines of what works. Truth is not going to be fooled. Truth, as I like to say, is undefeated. Give that some thought.